Welcome. Operation Stand Down Rhode Island serves over 2,000 veterans. Veterans who are homeless, at risk, and in need of assistance, providing housing, employment and training, legal and benefit assistance, as well as basic human needs. Our case managers, all of them who are veterans, as well as our legal staff and claims advocates, see on a daily basis how the benefits and resources that we are going to speak of today impact, and in some cases actually save the lives of our sisters and our brothers who, because of their service, have paid an enormous price in terms of wellness of their bodies and mind. Senator Rhode and Senator Whitehouse have distinguished themselves in their leadership and their fight for our veterans in the state of Rhode Island and across our nation, securing the benefits that those who suffer from service-connected disabilities have earned and which are a solemn debt that our nation owes to them. Your leadership, Senators Rhode and Whitehouse, on the PACT Act, the Camp Lejeune Justice Act, on issues relating to veteran homelessness, have brought home to Rhode Island the resources that Operation Stand Down depends upon, our partners and colleagues like the Providence Veteran Healthcare System, the Providence Veterans Benefit Administration Office, as well as the Office of Rhode Island Veteran Affairs depend upon to take care of our veterans here in Rhode Island. So very simply, on behalf of all of us who do the work, the boots on the ground with our veterans in need, Senator Rhode, Senator Whitehouse, thank you. Senator Rhode.
Well, thank you, Eric, for that very, very kind and generous introduction. I'm delighted to be back here at Operation Stand Down. This is really one of the central points where veterans can connect and be helped, and a lot of it goes back to my friend Tony DeBlanco, who claims he's a kid, but he's still a youngster.
He's 2 years older than me.
Let me recognize the other speakers here today. First, my colleague, Senator Whitehouse, who's done an extraordinary job supporting veterans initiatives in the United States Senate, and in so many other ways. Also, E.J. McQuaid. E.J., thanks. You're the director of our VA Providence Regional Office. Appreciate that. Larry Cannell. Thank you, Larry. Director of Providence VA Medical Center. Kasim Yan, Director of the Rhode Island Office of Veteran Services. And Vance Scullin, an Army and Rhode Island National Guard veteran. Thanks, Vance. Back in August 2022, Senator Whitehouse and I helped pass landmark legislation called the PACT Act to make it easier for our combat veterans to get access to VA health care and to make it simpler for them to file disability claims for diseases and conditions caused by their military service. In the almost year and a half since the PACT Act, we have seen how it has helped veterans in Rhode Island and across the country. Nationwide, 5 million veterans have been screened for toxic exposures, and over 1.2 million veterans or their survivors have filed claims for benefits. Almost 3,000 here in Rhode Island have filed those claims. And as I know Vance will talk about, veterans are getting their claims approved quicker and with less red tape because of the PACT Act. A little over a month ago, I was pleased to join VA Secretary Dennis McDonough here at Operation Stand Down. I wanted to show him the best volunteer veterans operation in the nation, and he agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we went over to the medical center, and then we went down to the regional office in Providence, and we were both convinced, because of new programs at VA and new facilities, our veterans are getting enormous benefits from our investments at the federal level. But often veterans are unaware of these benefits, and we need to get the word out. Operation Stand Down, they do it remarkably well, connecting to veterans, reaching out to the community, and letting them know what they have earned. And Eric was right, what they have earned. And we have to do the same thing. It's New Year's, so one of our resolutions should be, any veterans we know, make sure that they reach out to the VA, to Operation Stand Down, and see what benefits are available today for them. And with that, let me introduce my colleague and someone who was a remarkable, powerful force in this PACT Act package, Senator Sheldon.
Thank you, Jack. It is wonderful to be with you as always. The member of the delegation who is in fact a veteran, and indeed through his tie and suspenders is still demonstrating the afterglow of the Army-Navy game. Sorry,
Congrats,
sorry,
Army.
Kasim.
You earned it. Congrats.
And I'm delighted to be joined by E.J. McQuaid. The Providence Benefits Office is a special office. It is the place where the rest of the VA goes to test new programs and to repair malfunctioning programs, because the Providence office is particularly good. Larry Connell runs the hospital, which is a real beacon of excellent care around the country, nationally, and Rhode Island veterans love it. And Kasim Yarn is probably the most energetic and passionate director of veteran services anywhere in the country. So we have kind of a veterans care dream team here in Rhode Island. It's particularly important that we're here at Operation Stand Down, Rhode Island. I want to thank Eric Wallen for his persistent and able leadership of the organization, and recognize Tony DeQuattro, the founder, who is still the passion engine for Operation Stand Down. The team here is really terrific, particularly, of course, Ty, who they stole from me.
Not giving it back, sir.
The message here for veterans is that you are entitled to new benefits. And benefits for screening, benefits for care, benefits for additional compensation. And everybody in Rhode Island who is a veteran with an illness or thinks they may have one needs to be reaching out to the VA. Or if you don't want to reach out to the VA, reach out to Operation Stand Down Rhode Island, or a friend who's a veteran. One way or the other, connect with the Veterans Administration to get access to these new benefits. And I will leave it at that, turn it to E.J. McQuaid. I left out Sergeant Scullin on purpose because I would be introducing him later.
Good morning. Thank you to my fellow Marine, Mr. DeQuattro. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity here today. Always a pleasure to be at Operation Stand Down, and what a great way to start 2024.
Simplify, brother.
Super fine. Senator Reed, Senator Whitehouse, as always, just an outstanding delegation. Thank you for your leadership, both congressmen, fierce advocates for veterans, and just a wonderful delegation to work with. And of course, my battle buddy, Larry, Director Yarn, thank you so much for all that you do at the state level. What I wanted to talk about quickly here this morning with you all is some of the work that's being done for the PACT Act, the benefits that are being delivered to Rhode Island veterans by Rhode Island veterans, by my office. The Providence VA regional office, the benefits component of VA has grown significantly since the implementation of the PACT Act by more than 150 employees, as a matter of fact, as we are now larger than 400 employees and rapidly approaching 500 here in calendar year 24. Our workforce is overwhelmingly veteran, with much of our workforce with children and even grandchildren currently serving. So there is absolutely skin in the game. And one of the things that makes our workforce such unique and such effective problem solvers for all of VA nationwide is much of our workforce is still in uniform in the Rhode Island Guard. And so if you're asking who is doing this work, it is overwhelmingly veterans, Rhode Island veterans, and those that are currently serving in the Guard. I always want to thank the Rhode Island National Guard leadership, General Callahan in particular, for his partnership and advocacy and support of his soldiers in their civilian careers at the regional office. The message I want to share quickly is if you have applied for PACT Act benefits and been denied, or in the past been denied for benefits by VBA to reapply. Anybody here today or that is watching this, please encourage to reapply. Legislation led by our delegation that oversees benefits and entitlement to benefits has changed for the better. It is complicated. The PACT Act itself is very complicated legislation, and it is long overdue. But it is just so important to share the message that if you have applied for benefits and at any point been denied, whether PACT Act or other, to reapply. And that is those are the services that the Providence VA Regional Office provides, not only for Rhode Island veterans, but for veterans nationwide. Just a few data points I wanted to share. For Rhode Island veterans, total dollars that have been awarded since the implementation of the PACT Act for PACT Act related claims is more than $8.2 million in disability compensation benefits since the PACT Act was actually passed. And that really was not that long ago. You're talking, just barely, a year. So in that time, you're already seeing more than $8 million that has been awarded. At this current time, we have just over 1,065 to be exact, PACT Act related claims pending for Rhode Island veterans at our office. Those are largely being completed in less than 140 days. So from the time that they are filed to the times that they are completed, they are largely being completed in less than 140 days. The most common granted benefits related to the PACT Act that are leading to disability compensation, essentially the top 5 are first, hypertensive vascular disease, hypertension. That is overwhelmingly for Rhode Island veterans the benefit that is being granted. Allergic rhinitis, bronchial asthma, maxillary sinusitis, and then the final being the malignant growth, genitourinary malignant growth. So when you look at the PACT Act legislation and what it was intended to address, rare cancers and respiratory illnesses, and conditions that are presumptive to comprehensive toxins that folks were exposed to in service, that is being addressed. That is what the data shows as of January 3rd. So that is really good to see. It is not mission complete. It is not mission accomplished. In the spirit of the big Army win, we are not spiking the ball yet, Senator. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I did want to share that, when you look at what the data is showing is that claims are being processed, disability compensation is being awarded in a retroactive manner, and the disabilities that are being service connected, and most of these were previously denied. Are the illnesses, diseases that the PACT Act was intended to address. So with that, thank you for your time today. Thank you for the opportunity.
And
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's great. No, hang on, Larry. Sit down. I don't get to do that. In the spirit of transparency, I am usually following a very tough act. And for those who don't know, Director Connell, a wildly interesting man, a mentor, a friend, someone that I just enjoy spending time with. A 30-year Army veteran, an incredible background, an incredible story into how he came into his role. And I think really, we don't tell enough good news stories, but when you talk about, coming into federal government as part of a transition team on a very short notice ask, and then, no one realizing that he had this incredible background of running Army hospitals for, well over a decade, a very accomplished pilot, and for those that don't know, the Rhode Island aviation, military aviation community has a very distinguished group of accomplished, dating back to the start of aviation. And, Larry would never admit this and is probably going to scold me afterwards, but, certainly part of that, that very distinguished group. He's a tough act to follow. He's usually the one introducing me, so this really is a great pleasure. And let's keep this going in 2024. I like this. But my friend, battle buddy, director of the VA Medical Center, Larry Connell.
Geez, I think you're a tough act to follow. Goodness gracious. Thanks, EJ. Thanks for those kind words. Senator Reed, Senator Whitehouse, Eric, Tony, thanks for putting this on. Again, my name's Larry Connell. I'm the current director of the Providence VA healthcare system. And as EJ mentioned, I spent 30 years active duty in the Army, retiring as a colonel. So I know a thing or two about veterans, as well as being a veteran myself. What I want to talk about today is the PACT Act. And this would not have happened not for the efforts of both Senator Reed and Senator Whitehouse getting this across the finish line for the PACT Act. And in a nutshell, what does the PACT Act do? It really opens up the aperture for presumptive conditions for veterans. It really opened up what is considered a presumptive condition. At the Providence VA hospital system, we've screened nearly 15,000 veterans just this year. We completed more than 98% follow-ups for all those veterans that we've screened. But I'm going to be short on this because I don't want to bore you with statistics, but I do want to tell you one thing. We at the Providence VA healthcare system want veterans and survivors to apply for their PACT Act benefits today. If you're not enrolled in VA healthcare, I would like you to please give us a try. Even if you have other insurance, so if it's through your spouse or through your work, we'd ask that you give the Providence VA healthcare system a try. Keep your outside insurance if you want, that's fine. But if you're eligible for PACT Act, that is your gateway for healthcare at the Providence VA healthcare system. So we encourage you to come in, give us a try, and don't take my word for it. I'm happy to report that at the Providence VA healthcare system, through surveys we send to veterans, 94% of the veterans we serve, 94% trust the care they get at the Providence VA healthcare system. Are we perfect? No. Are we damn good? You bet we are. 94%. We're not perfect. So we get 6% of those veterans we need to get our arms around, earn their trust. And we won't quit till we do. But it's good healthcare. I can tell you I've seen DOD healthcare, I've seen private healthcare, and now VA healthcare. And I can tell you that VA healthcare is second to none. It really is great healthcare. So if you're a veteran or you know a veteran that's eligible for PACT benefits, let's get them into the Providence VA, get them enrolled for the best healthcare in the nation. Thank you. Oh, it's my pleasure to introduce. All right. Thanks, Senator. Appreciate that. You certainly can't miss this guy in a crowd. The director of the Rhode Island Veterans Affairs, Kasim Young. Thanks.
Happy New Year, everyone. You know, this is a great day for us as Rhode Islanders because we owe a lot to our congressional delegation. During the pandemic, they stepped up to the plate and provided substantial funding to address our staffing needs at our Veterans Home, a facility that's near and dear to all of our hearts because it resides for American heroes. And then as we started to come out of the pandemic, they answered another call, 988, giving our veterans a viable means to get care. We know that in today's world, getting access to care looks different for all of us as a veteran. But the proof is that 988 is working in our state, giving our veterans and their military families access to get care based on their needs and not ours. And now here we are, on the day, the next hurdle that we need to collectively work together to get our veterans enrolled regarding the PACT. Arguably the modern day Agent Orange in Tony's background that he served. We're trying to make amends of the mistakes we made in the past to our Vietnam veterans. Again, I always say welcome home. So we're taking those lessons learned through the PACT Act. And of course another program that Tony's Fisher is called Camp Lejeune. And the drinking water associated with that. Taking action. We still need to get Fort McHenry on the docket because we know that they have substantial health issues as well around their drinking water, but we're working through it. The crown jewel they talked about of nonprofit organizations serving our veterans and military heroes. Operation Stand Down. 30 plus years, you carried the water. The driving force by helping the stopping of the taxation of our military pensions. It resided with this organization. Over the holiday season, I had the pleasure of working with his team with dealing with a family member. Her husband's active duty service member, forward deployed, needed assistance. Through their programs, getting access to health care, addressing all of those needs while their family member is deployed, so she can do right by her family and get her education. And as of today, she's got her credentials. She's now a licensed CNA in our state, solely attributed to the work that Operation Stand Down to help that family member of the veteran. So this team is not just about the veteran. It's about the families as well, to giving the family members the tools that they need to be successful as well. Our PACT Act, this is a tremendous legislation to address needs of the past, but also to highlighting the services needed to address those veterans and their military families. And my role in that is simple: to set our team up, continue to set our team up for success. Because we're one team when it comes to serving America's heroes. And it takes our collective part. You heard how each one of us is playing a role in this process. This year, we're trying to reach our veterans where they are in the community, where they work. And speaking of which, where they work, Operation Stand Down, the healthcare system, EJ's team, the majority of their team members are veterans and family members of veterans. We also have Gold Star family members that have sacrificed the most doing the work for our veterans and military families. That's humbling, because it's not about the one individual. It's about the work that Operation Stand Down doing, that entire team, EJ's team, helping folks get connected to benefits. And at the end of the day, we want all of our veterans to be enrolled in the healthcare system, because we know that the stigma around suicides, 60% of our veteran population, when you do back the math, aren't enrolled in the VA healthcare system. The PACT Act is a gateway to help us get those veterans enrolled, get them access to the care, and be a advocate for them and intercede on their behalf. On behalf of the governor, state of Rhode Island, thank you to our congressional delegation for always making our veterans our priority and actively listening to the families as well. We know when our veterans don't come home, they come home to communities. Thank you so much for E.J. McQuaid and Director Connell for your leadership. And of course, last but certainly not least, to our premier veteran service organization in our state, Operation Stand Down of Rhode Island, for all that you continue to do on behalf of our veterans and military families. God bless you, and we love you all. Thank you. And I'll hand it back over to Senator.
All right, nothing against all of you, but we did save the best for the last. And that is Vance Scullin of Woonsocket, who was my 2023 State of the Union guest and was active duty Army until 1985, returned to Rhode Island, joined the Rhode Island National Guard. As a member of the Rhode Island National Guard, he served in Operation Desert Storm in Iraq, where he had significant chemical exposures. He had previously been denied a claim for benefits, and in the wake of the PACT Act, it is now a claim that is being honored by the Veterans Administration. Sergeant Scullin, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Senator Whitehouse, Senator Reed, Operation Stand Down. My name is Sergeant Vance Scullin. I served in the 119th Military Police. I am a recipient of the PACT Act. The PACT Act is very important to soldiers because other claims that we have put in and been denied, when I went through the PACT Act, I got a fast and speedy answer and received what I needed for myself. I have been myself trying to find other soldiers who could receive the PACT Act, but a lot of people don't know about it. We need to get the word out to the people, the soldiers, the men, the women who serve in our armed forces, to assist and receive what they've got coming to them. And for that, I thank you. I will turn it over to Anthony DeQuattro from the Operation Standout. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Display in good health.
Thank you.
I'm not as elegant as the rest of these people. Welcome, Senator Reed.
Thank you.
Welcome, Senator Whitehouse, gentlemen. I say it the way it is, and I really don't care because it comes from my heart, and that's the way it goes. We started 30 years ago because veterans weren't getting what they needed. And I got tired of seeing my brothers and sisters in the street, not getting the benefits they needed or anything else. You can understand, Vietnam era veterans, when we came home, and this is nothing against the VA right now because they're doing an excellent job, but they were in hospitals with rats in the room, and the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was a horror show, an absolute horror show. And this is one of the reasons why we got activated to do things. You know, a lot of people talk. I don't talk, I do it. So, I want to congratulate the VA. You've come a long, long, long way. You really have. And especially on the benefits end. The PACT Act, what I want everybody to understand in this is a lot of veterans are under the impression that the PACT Act ended because of social media and things that were put out there. It hasn't ended. You need to apply. And if you don't want to go to the VA, like they said, come here. We'll get you hooked in. As far as the VA medical services go, they've come a long way. Absolutely great now compared to what they used to be. It took me 14 years now to get benefits for Camp Lejeune water. I've had cancer for 14 years, on and off. Doesn't go away. It'll reappear again. But that's not happening now. They're getting it right away. It's a presumptive, and it's working great. And I have to thank you gentlemen for that, okay? On a personal basis, because you've worked with me and family, but also on a basis for all the other veterans out there. You gotta remember something. Veterans aren't asking for anything they don't deserve. They earned it. It's not something that's given to them because they're entitled. No, they earned it. And they should have it. There's no way in God's earth that a veteran should go without medical benefits or without benefits for a disability. You know, there's a lot of things that happen out there. There's a lot of things that happen on bases, a lot of things that happen in training, a lot of things that happen in war, a lot worse than war. These people need to get what they're earned. It's that simple. And, gentlemen, you work very hard at doing that, and you work closely with us, and I really appreciate that. I know I could be a pain in the ass, right? But
No.
you know what?
Stipulated.
That's me. I'm a Marine, and I just charge and go get it. And when I want to get something done, I want to get it done. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get it done. But again, I thank you very much, and I thank you for the opportunity to have this press conference here. And your ace is in my book, all right? And one final thing. What I do here, I have a complete, absolute staff that's absolutely out of this world. I would compare them to no other staff in any other organization. They're super, they're fantastic. They're all vets, and they all understand. And what's the main thing, they do it from their hearts, because when we interview them, when I talk to them, if you ain't doing it from your heart, don't want the door hit you in the ass on the way out. It's that simple. Again, thank you very much. And the one other thing I want to say is, you know what, like again, I don't do this myself. I'm a tool in God's hands, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. All right.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.